Alrighty, good early Sunday morning to you, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. Up late, tracking the storm with you tonight. It's 1:30 a.m. here on Sunday morning Eastern time. I want to bring you just a quick update. Not very long tonight. I'm going to be heading to bed here pretty soon and getting some much-needed sleep so we can track this thing tomorrow. But I wanted to get an update out to all of you night owls that have been asking. We've already got a little bit of the mess moving into our area, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Video update again sponsored by High Voltage Mobile DJ Service. You can contact Nathan here at the number on your screen and visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com. Here we got the radar into motion, and you can see this mess as it is headed our way. Lots of snow coming up to our north, but notice what's building down in here. This is what would be eventually headed our way, and you can see the sleet and freezing rain starting to build. In fact, we've already got some of the freezing rain starting to fall in the area. As it loads here, you'll be able to see that it's a high resolution data, so it sometimes takes a little bit for it to load and see here. All right, a little bit of freezing rain already up in here, and if I just throw the surface temperatures on here, you can see that we are below freezing already. Excuse me, in a good number of these areas here. We're still holding to freezing, above freezing here in Evansville and the Huntingburg, Du Bois County areas, but really this will change pretty quickly over the coming few hours. By 4 or 5 a.m. most of us in the area should be below freezing and in danger of icing accumulations as a result. The good news is it's spotty right now, but the bad news is, of course, is that will build in more as the night wears on, so just sort of expect that. Now, this isn't the main show. This is just kind of the pre-show. The main show is actually showing up down here right around the Phoenix area. If I just throw on a couple of things here for you to see, I know this makes it look very busy, but this is our main storm system right down here. All right, so you notice this little dip in the mid-level jet stream here. That is the upper level low that had moved onshore, as we've been saying for days, from the Pacific Ocean. It's made it all the way into the Phoenix area now. That's very quickly going to move our way. In fact, by tomorrow night, it's going to be over here in this region, pumping up plenty of moisture our direction. So now the longer it takes to get here, the more suppressed this snow and this wintry mess is going to be to the south of us. So we'll have to keep that trend and see whether that happens or not. But as of right now, it still looks like we could get some significant snow totals out of this. The evening models have trended a little bit more to the south. It had the heavier snow totals up towards Indianapolis, and so we were calling for 6 to 9 inches earlier, as were most meteorologists up around Indianapolis as well, I believe. So for the Indianapolis area, that's trended a little bit more down here. Indianapolis is probably going to be lucky to see 1 to 4 out of this from the way things go. I was calling officially for 2 to 6 on mine. I'm calling for 3 to 7 on mine for down here. The good news is the freezing rain accumulation potential has become a little bit less, but the snow totals have ramped up a little bit as well. So regardless of no matter what we get, it's going to be a mess out of here, so keep that in mind. Let's quickly time this out on future radar. Here we go into the overnight hours, and you see some of these spotty showers develop, and you've got the purple here is the sleet and freezing rain mixed into one. This particular future radar product doesn't differentiate between the two. You see this moves through, and this is the early morning hours on Sunday. Here we are by 8 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern time. You've got a pretty big plume starting to head up your way here, and then as you move through, that moves over us. By the time you get into the afternoon hours, a lot of us get a little bit of a break in the action, but we have plenty more headed our way. In fact, you can see a heavy icing event down over southern Kentucky. They will get the biggest bulk of the ice where we won't, and that's a thankful thing for us. But we do end up with a pretty significant amount of snow as a result of this. And again, you see a little bit of greens mixing in here because, as I've said several times before, this future radar sometimes gets the coloring wrong, but this would be all snow. So keep that in mind. All right, how much snow can we expect? Let me grab the snowcast over here from the other computer screen. Here's what I'm thinking as far as the latest totals based on the data. This is the last time I'm going to update this. From here on out, it's going to be just very simply a nowcasting event. For most of us in southern Indiana, I'm thinking a 3 to 7 inch snow and sleet accumulations tomorrow afternoon of up to 1/1500ths of an inch of freezing rain. Now that's down from the quarter inch I had, and that's good. We don't want the freezing rain anyway. Unfortunately, down south in Kentucky, it looks like they're going to get, and off the map, even further south in Kentucky, looks like they're going to get hammered with maybe even 3/4 of an inch of freezing rain. So they're going to get the big totals. It looks like we're going to get the minor amounts of freezing rain. Keep our fingers crossed. That's certainly a good thing. And then, of course, as you go further into the north, then you get the lesser amounts. But I do think some sleet will now mix in areas towards Indianapolis. That's a new trend in this as well. So, the data flops back and forth all the time on this, but this is the closest to the storm, so hopefully this will be the most reliable. We will see how this pans out. Unfortunately, we have the best models that we possibly can have available, but models are not perfect, and the weather is going to do what it wants to do. And this just happens to be a very tricky storm. I'll be honest with you, this is probably the trickiest winter storm I've forecasted all year long. I've pulled my hair out for the past several hours that I've been working on this today, and it is what it is. So it's all we can do. But again, 3 to 7 inches of snow and sleet is, I think, what we can expect out of this. You know what? If we end up seeing less, it wouldn't bother me out of it. If this forecast was a bust, it really wouldn't. I'm so sick of winter. I know many of you are as well. Hopefully this will be the last major winter storm that we have to deal with this winter. It's already March. Chances of bigger storms happening in March, well, they do happen, obviously. But the later on you get, the less chance you get. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. All right, 7-day forecast. Go to southernindianaweather.com. You can get your ULR and Sun 7-day forecast. A high of only 32, and that really happens. Really, we've already hit our high for the day. Our high for the day was what we had at midnight. Temperatures are going to fall throughout the rest of the day. 32 is where we should be as you wake up tomorrow morning, for a lot of us anyway. Falling temperatures throughout the day. Freezing rain likely early. Again, we're already seeing to start to move into our area here at the 1 a.m. hour. That's going to continue to overspread us over the night. Freezing rain will change over to sleet sometime during the mid-morning hours, most likely, and then it will be a sleet and snow mix after that. Finally, later in the afternoon and in the evening hours, we'll start to see that change over to all snow from north to south. So that's sort of what to expect time-wise for tomorrow. And then after that, we go down to 15 for a low tomorrow night. We got some light snow possible until midday on Monday, but we're going down to 5 degrees under partly cloudy skies Monday night, so it's going to bottom out very cold. That's a little bit warmer than some of the previous data suggested, but not that much, and it's still pretty cold. And then as we go through the week, we do see a little bit of a warm-up, but still well below normal. We're not going to get more normal temperatures until we start to head towards the weekend. So that's the latest on where we stand right now. Again, winter storm warnings are in effect for the entire area through Monday morning, and then we've got this to deal with as far as the freezing rain, snow, and sleet threats. So keep it tuned right here to Southern Indiana Weather. Don't forget, we've got a really great interactive radar right on our website. Feel free to use that tomorrow as you track this mess as it moves in. I'll have another one of these updates tomorrow sometime, and of course plenty of updates during the day. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm Meteorologist Michael Wilhite.